All right, so Maddie, I wanted to take a moment and show you how you could solve the issue that you've been having. The goal here is to create a little game where you drag your little teacher self to a color and then tell the students whether or not that's the right color. This is a common type of game that you might use, and so this is a great idea. I love that you're going there with this, where you might have students interact in a Scratch project to figure out what the right answer is in any case. So let's go ahead and play through this and look at what's working and what's not and see if we can debug it. So first starts off with the teacher saying, "Hey there, I'm Miss Maddie. I'm excited to have you in my class and get to know you. Before we meet, I would love to tell you a little bit about myself." Let's get to it. So the first thing you do then, you just say, "Let's play a game. Can you guess my favorite color?" So it's not immediately obvious that you're supposed to drag her to the color. So make sure that you always give good instructions to your students. Say, go ahead and click and drag and drop me on what you think is my favorite color. So if I test this, I drag it, and it actually looks like it's working on the yellow, which is pretty good. If I leave it there, it just keeps repeating. That's fine. Yeah, if I try the pink, I get nothing. If I try the blue, I get nothing. Try the green, I also get nothing. So this is an important part of debugging, is looking at what's working and where things seem to go wrong. So look at my expected outcome and my actual outcome. The expected outcome is working for yellow, and the expected actual outcomes are the same, but it's not working for any of the other colors. So now that I know that, let's look inside and see what's going on. First of all, thank you so much for adding these comments. That's really important. It helped me understand what it was that you wanted to accomplish with this game. And if I look at the Maddie jump, it looks like that's where you have your code where you say, here's a color game, make an interactive way to have students guess my favorite color. And I can see that this is yellow right now, which means this is trying to run this code. And the reason it's doing that is because you said when the backdrop switches to backdrop 1, do these things, and then forever go into this loop, which means it's forever going to be trying to sense if I'm touching a certain color. So I come down here, I'm going to check forever if I'm touching, now in this case, this is the sprite we're on, the Maddie jump sprite. If I'm touching the yellow color, then play the drum roll, play the slide whistle, and then say, not quite for 2 seconds. Okay, that looks like it's working. Then you have another if, but the interesting thing is you're checking if I'm touching the pink, but that's inside of the yellow, which means I'd have to be touching the yellow and the pink in order to get this to work. So there's your first problem, is it looks like you've just nested all the other colors inside the yellow, which means you'd have to be touching the yellow and that other color first. And in fact, with the green, it looks like you nested that inside of the blue, so I'd have to be touching the yellow, the blue, and the green in order to get the right answer here. I don't think that's what you intended. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say if I'm touching the yellow, then do the yellow. If I'm touching the pink, then do the pink. So that's going to be at the same level. So I'm going to drag out this whole thing and just put it right underneath it. So now if I'm touching the yellow is here, and if I'm touching the pink comes right next, it's not inside of that yellow condition. And I need to do the same thing with the green. And if I drag that out, then I've got 4 different if statements. If I'm touching yellow, then do these things. If I'm touching pink, then do these. If I'm touching blue, then do these. If I'm touching green, then do these. So now I'm going to go ahead and try that. I'm going to see if it works. And lo and behold, I got the blue. Let's try the pink. And that didn't work. Let's try the green. Oh, it's still running the pink. It worked. So you actually had all the right code. You just had it a little bit out of place. So this is really great code, by the way, and this is a great type of thing. I can see drag and drop activities like this are done a lot, and it's a good way of making a good interactive activity for your students. So good job.